Hi there, and welcome back. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the effects that this could have on relationships for you. So the primary purpose of writing the book that I did was to talk about the emotional effects that people experience and give you some ideas on how to alleviate those, as well as start the healing process after you've been scammed. But there's other effects too that are also important, and there's this interplay, we'll say, that happens between those and your emotions and back and forth. And so this one about relationship issues is about how this has affected you in relationship with the people that are important to you. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever that is, right? And there are some common things that people have described that I've noticed. And so I have a list here, so I'm going to be looking up and down a little bit, but I wanted to give you this list of different things and see for yourself if some of those effects have happened to you. And think about that. And then near the end of this video, I have a couple of ideas about some things you might do that are kind of some quick ideas for now. But there's more videos later in this series that are about healing, and you may find some ideas there as well. So the things that I've listed for you that I want you to think about, the first one is how secrecy might be affecting this for you. So if you haven't told anyone yet, they're still probably noticing changes in you. Those changes might be that you seem angry all the time, or that you've isolated yourself. Whatever those are, if you haven't told anyone in your life about what has happened, they're probably questioning you to say, hey, what's up? Has something happened? Is there anything I can do, right? But you're still so much in that shame, right, that you don't want to share anything about this. So I'm going to say consider telling some people, but I'm always going to say that very cautionary, as you can hear in my voice and see in my face. Be very cautious that you choose a person who is as safe as possible for you. So some people you're never going to be able to tell something like this because they can never stop from being shamey or judgy with you. And so that's not the person I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone who will be able to, even if they say a couple things wrong, right? They're still going to be able to be compassionate, to sit with it, to talk with you about it and not judge you. So potentially consider talking to someone, because ultimately that, at least with that person, they'll know why you are behaving the way that you are. Okay? So that's one. And then on the other side of that, sort of, is feeling angry with people who have been shamey or judgy. So you might feel pretty mad, or more shame, or completely avoidant with people who have reacted badly when you have shared this with them out of a desperation, probably, for some support, for some care, to understand what has happened. And then when you did, if they reacted with judgment, if they said that dreaded phrase, how could you fall for that, right? Then you would go back to isolation and potentially feel worse. And now maybe you're feeling angry about that. So that is definitely an effect on relationships and causes some damage much too often, really much too often. So there's that. Another is that you have less trust overall in people in general. So you may have less trust with everyone, including family and friends that you've known for years, and you know they're not scamming you, right? You just may have so damaged trust within yourself so much that it's permeating all of your relationships. So keep that in mind. It is appropriate, not appropriate, it's very natural, it's very understandable to lose some trust once this has happened to you. But keep it in perspective, right? Keep aware of this. It's going to repair to some extent within you, and it may be that it will take a little bit of effort on your part to repair trust in others and in relationships in general. The next one I have is dealing with others in your life who may feel betrayed by you. So people in your life, particularly family, may feel betrayed by you because the money that you lost has affected them or will affect them at some point in the future. And they may be angry with you. They may feel disappointed. They may be judgy and shamey, right? And so if you still have to deal with them and want to deal with them on a regular basis, you want to keep that relationship, there's some repair that is going to be needed around that. So many families repair that on their own, right? Over time, things are said and repair is made in the things that are said and the care that is shown. Some families need a therapist to help them with that process. But keep in mind that that is an area that might require a little bit of work on your part. And that's a tricky piece, right? To try to work on this shame for yourself and repair that within your own identity, within yourself, to try and heal from that, while also trying to repair relationships where you feel so terrible about what's happened. So that's another one on the list here. And the final one that I have on my list to talk about is not being able to stop thinking about this. And that is either coming out in relationships where you can't stop talking about it with some of your family or friends, or you're thinking about it so much that you're kind of distant in conversations with people. And so I have a couple of different things to recommend now for you to consider and try doing to see if this helps you at all. And again, like I said earlier, in the healing videos, you may find additional things to help you through this healing process. So one of the things to try is a pause. So I say a pause in conversations with someone, whether it's by text or in person on the phone. If the person says something that upsets you in whatever way, they said something shamey or judgy, right? Or they're expressing anger towards you, then I'm going to encourage you to pause before you respond to them. That will give you more power to respond as opposed to react with emotion right in the moment. Even if you have to say to them, it's probably better if I wait a little bit before I respond to what you just said. So I need to get off the phone right now, or I need to go right now. I love you, but I need to take a little bit before I respond to what you just said to me. That's okay. If you need to do that, that's okay. That's a boundary, and that's a whole other subject, right? But a pause may help you in moments before you respond to someone. Another thing is to provide yourself some distractions. So I'm thinking about this. If you can't stop thinking about it, then try talking with someone. Try getting into a conversation. If it isn't working, then try a particular topic that usually really engages you. I'm very much into genealogy as an example. And so I could get into a conversation about aspects of genealogy with someone and become completely engaged about that topic to where I forget a little bit about what has happened to me, and I'm connecting with this person that I'm having a conversation with. I'm not distant with them. So that's an example of what I mean by distracting yourself with something else. And then the final idea for you is what we call in therapy a container exercise. And what what we mean when we talk about a container exercise is to find a way to contain what you're feeling about this particular thing, issue, in temporarily, right, to deal with later, but it's contained for the moment while you do something that you need to do, whether that's go to work or be at a family gathering, etc., right? And so an example of a container exercise, a very simple example, is to just say, okay, I'm going to imagine a box, and I'm mentally going to put this issue in that box and close the lid tight, and it can stay in the box until I come back and I make some time for myself to deal with this, to think about it, to come up with a solution, to try a healing exercise, whatever that is, right? But you contain it temporarily while you go to work, for instance, so that you can concentrate there because you want to keep your job, right? So another example of a container exercise is to give yourself time to deal with this, to think about it, whereas outside of this time, you are free to do other things. So set a timer for yourself, say for 15 minutes. And during that 15 minutes, you can cry, scream, pound nails into a board, doesn't matter, right? You can do all the thinking and feeling about this that has happened to you. And then when the timer goes off, though, then it's time to stop and say, okay, I've given it some attention. I can put it away for now, and I can go do what I need to do. So those are a couple of examples. There will be more examples in the healing videos. And for now, I wish you well until the next video. Thank you.